Hi everyone! So today I'm gonna show you some products that I am very excited about, but I was also very hesitant to talk about them in the first place. I will tell you why in just a minute. I'm sure that you have heard of Viviva, the creator of the Viviva Color sheet. I have supported them for many years now here on this channel. It is such a good brand and they have worked so hard to be where they are today. And one of the things that Aditya, the creator of Viviva and the Viviva team have been working on this year are these guys. They have made their very own handmade sketchbooks. I mean, look how pretty these are. And they also made a brand new color sheet booklet with even more colors in it. This one got 20 while the original only got 16. So we got some blue tones and grays and also a white that are new. And yes, I will address the elephant in the room soon, don't worry. So it comes both in this landscape format and also a square format. They are available in two different kinds of paper. We got this ivory smooth textured paper. It is very smooth but still very nice and thick. And then we got the other paper type, which is 100% cotton. And this one is even thicker and it got this nice cold pressed texture that I love, and it also got this very interesting nature paper look going on. So this cotton paper definitely have a handmade vibe to them. And I love the rounded corners. It also got a practical pocket at the back. Yes, I think it is time to address that elephant now. So yeah, as you may have figured out by now, this is a collaboration between Viviva Colors and Inktober. So Viviva have been working for months and months on these products, and just a few days before the launch on Indiegogo, the creator of Inktober, Jake Parker, was accused of plagiarism. And I'm pretty sure you have heard of it already, but to fill you in really quick, it was said that Parker's new Inktober book that was supposed to be released now in September had a lot of content very similar to another book called Ink and Pen Drawing, published back in 2015 by the artist Alfonso Dunn. So yeah, that's the super basic story of it all, and that is why there is a little bit of controversy around Inktober. As you can imagine, a lot of people are furious. Some people have even cancelled Inktober and they have started their own challenges and their own prompt list. So this whole situation made me hesitant if I should even review these products at all, since they are connected to Inktober. But even if this is a collaboration with Inktober, I still support Viviva with all my heart because I know how much time and soul and effort they have put into these products. It is such a shame if one person only should ruin that. So if you would like to support Viviva and get these lovely sketchbooks and these paints yourself, I will have a link to their Indiegogo campaign in the description box below. And I understand if you don't want to support Inktober, but I can highly recommend you to check out Viviva. I will get back and share my thoughts about Inktober, but now let's try out these sketchbooks and the new color sheet. So if you haven't seen these Viviva paints before, this is what they look like. It is a portable booklet with squares of watercolor paints, and there is a protective sheet between each of the pages so that they don't stick together when they're wet. And at the back we have a little mixing palette thingy that you just stick to the last page. And then let the swatching begin, starting with a smooth paper in the landscape sketchbook and then the 100% cotton in the square sketchbook. As you can see, these paints, they are so gorgeous, they are pigmented and vibrant. A little paint really goes a long way, and I actually love the texture of both of these papers. It brings different looks and feelings to the same medium. And I must say, the new gray paints, they look amazing. They really have a lovely ink look to them. Then I wanted to try out some different ink pens too on these papers, since after all they are made for Inktober. So I just tested some pens that I like to use for inking, regular fine liners, brush pens, real brush pens, you know, the ones with real bristle tips. And I also tried some India ink, and again you really get some different looks from these pens depending on the paper. I believe that the smoother paper would be more suitable for pens and finer line work than the cotton paper, because it is very rough and textured. Also, something that I noticed with the cotton paper, it is very durable to paint on, but it doesn't like when you erase on it. It is like all these little fibers in the paper are coming loose and the surface get all rough and uneven. Even when using a softer kneaded eraser, this happens. So that is something to keep in mind, because the paint will bleed and feather in the spots where you have erased and messed up the surface of the paper. Alright, so let's get started and paint something, and something that I need to address before we jump into my thoughts about Inktober. I was so tired when I made these paintings. In fact, I've been so tired for 2 weeks now, and that is one of the reasons why I didn't post any video last week. I just needed to rest my brain, and yes, it is reflecting in my art. I had a lot of fun working with these sketchbooks and the paints, but I felt a little uninspired and slow when it comes to the art itself, and it is okay to have ups and downs. You can't produce great art all the time. I just wanted to mention it because we are all humans. I also turned 30 last week, one of the biggest reasons to be tired, I think. Anywho, let's talk about Inktober. I have seen Dunn's video where he compares his work to Parker's new book, and I think that some of the comparisons, they are a little far-fetched, to be completely honest. I mean, there are only so many ways of using one specific art medium, but then on the other hand, some of the comparisons are a little too close to just be a coincidence. But I don't want to say that any of them is wrong or right until we know exactly what has happened, even though I know it doesn't look that good for Parker, but I can definitely see the things that both sides are pointing out, similarities and possible coincidences. And unfortunately, Parker already had some angry eyes on him after trying to trademark Inktober, which would complicate it for a lot of artists to sell their own Inktober artworks. Now I think the only thing he trademarked was his logo, so it isn't as bad as people first thought, but still people were already annoyed. So I have participated in Inktober for a few years now, and I have completed all 31 days for 2 years, I think, following some different prompt lists. So my thoughts about the challenge itself, making an ink drawing for every day of October. I actually really enjoy it, and I was so looking forward to participate this year too. But then all of this happened, the drama, the controversy, and all the people being mad, and now it just feels meh. But is Inktober really cancelled, as we like to call it these days? Well, people are renaming the challenge and they are making their own prompt list. But that is something that people have done for years now anyway, with Arttober, Drawtober, Witchtober, you name it. One year I used a Witchtober and the official Inktober prompt list parallel, and I just picked whatever felt most motivating, and sometimes I even combined the prompts. So I think that Inktober has grown beyond what it was from the beginning, and as many have already pointed out, Inktober could not have happened without all the artists participating, so it is much more and much bigger than just one person at this point. However, I do understand if people don't want to use the official prompt list and if they don't want to post under the official hashtag right now, but the challenge I still think will be happening because I know that many artists loves it, including myself, and that is why a lot of people are renaming the challenge and why they make their own prompt list. Drawing every day, it is something that you can do all year round, of course, but a lot of artists doing it at the same time, it makes it a little more special. You can cheer each other on and you can look forward to see what other artists have created. It is just a nice little time of the year, in my opinion. It just has a cozy, nice vibe to it. And to be fair, the initial idea with the whole challenge, when reading on Jake Parker's website, it is to improve and to form a positive habit of drawing, which I think is great. You need to draw if you want to improve. And sometimes you need a little kick in the butt to get started, and having prompts to follow can be a motivation and inspiration to draw. So yeah, overall it is a lovely idea if you're up for those kinds of challenges. Also, you don't have to draw every day. I know it stresses a lot of people out, but you just do what is best for you and what is enjoyable for you. So regarding my own participation this year, I am still considering to do the challenge and draw something in ink and maybe some additional watercolors or paints every day of October. I haven't decided yet how to do the challenge, what prompt list to follow, but maybe I will make my own prompt list and share it. That would be fun. This year I would challenge myself to make something more minimalistic and learn how to be happy with that, because previous years, especially last year, I made it a little too difficult and advanced for myself, which made me a little stressed, which is not the point with the challenge. So I want to learn to draw something every day and adjust it to the time frame that I have and just be happy with that. And then if I will call it Inktober or not, I don't think that really matters. I will do it for me because it makes me happy. So yeah, that's my thoughts about the yearly 10th month of the year drawing challenge. Please let me know your thoughts. Will you participate? Will you not participate? And in both cases, why? How will you do this challenge if you are participating? So let's talk about these art pizzas. Let's talk about these art pieces real quick too. Yes, I made 2 mushroom drawings. As I said, my brain is a little overworked at the moment, so this was just comfort art for me. But I had a lot of fun. I really loved the paints and the sketchbooks. It was very interesting to paint on these 2 paper types. The cotton paper definitely feels more made for watercolors, but I do love how the paints look on the smooth paper too. I do think though that the smooth one is more suitable for mixed media and different pens than the cotton one is. Also, none of these papers warped a lot. They stayed quite flat even after adding a lot of water and a lot of paints. Yes, the cotton one is a little more sensitive to erasers, but both of them feels very durable and sturdy. So yeah, I can highly recommend these sketchbooks and the paints. Please check out the link below if you want to get your hands on these yourself. There are some really nice perks to choose between on Indiegogo. I had a lot of fun painting the ink mushrooms, the brush pen. It looks so nice on that paper. The little pumpkin kitty cat is also cute, a little plain perhaps, but cute. And I first thought that the fox turned out really bad. I didn't like it at all, but after fixing it a little and letting it rest for a bit, I think it is pretty adorable. And the mushroom painting in the square sketchbook, it turned out so colorful. It is a really good example on how vibrant and lovely the Viviva paints are. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you Viviva for sending me these lovely products. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I hope I will see you next time. Keep drawing my happy cats. Bye!